the document which you're seeking signatures for, and then the code of conduct, will these two documents be legally binding in any way?
No. No, they wouldn't be legally binding. But you know that there are so many documents that do not have legal force, but they have moral force. UN conventions, you can name them. Shraj developed a code of conduct for public officers.
Which, as you are aware, many officers do not live or work to that code because it's not legally binding.
But there are some laws that are even not respected in this country. So we believe that it's important you also develop some guide, that people can refer to, to guide the conduct of our political parties. So that is exactly what we have tried to do. So the code will provide a kind of do's and don'ts to complement, like I've said, the law. When we're able to do that, I'm sure that we will go a long way in dealing once and for all this menace.
Speaking of the law, I mean, while the Peace Council was engaging the two parties and bringing them together successfully, the president took a bill to Parliament to pass the Vigilantism law, and it was prioritized, rushed through, and now we have a law. Did the Peace Council feel like this was in some way, undercutting, undermining the work that you were doing? Did it not take away your steam?
No, not at all. I think the president, in his presentation at Parliament, hinted that if the parties fail to, start the process, he would start, the process to pass the law.
And the parties did not fail, did they? They engaged with the Peace Council.
Yeah, they did, but...
so were you surprised when the president still went ahead with the law?
We're not surprised because if you look at the time frame he gave them to start the process, I'm not sure we did start from within that frame that he gave when he went to Parliament.
So he was right to disregard the process even because it started late?
No, I wouldn't want to say he's right or he was wrong. But what I know is that what we have done doesn't take anything out of what the law is going to do.
You think the president acknowledges what you're doing?
Yeah, he did. And he does. At least through his ministers, we've had all the support we needed to get the process ongoing. That one for sure. And we intend even to present these two documents I've mentioned to the president when everything is done. So we've received, there hasn't been any doubts at all as to the support we've received from government, from the political parties themselves. I think that this country, we should also be positive about some things and help the institutions, including the political parties, to grow. We may have committed some mistakes in the past, but we still have opportunity, to correct them and to leave a better country for our children and their children. We can do that. Yeah.
So, I was thinking recently the Guta and their Nigerian counterparts have, been going at it a little bit, all of this disagreement over the law and its interpretation of whether or not a foreigner can, operate in the retail space in Ghana and so forth. Has the Peace Council noted this, and do you feel there's a role that you could play in helping to resolve this matter?
Jojo, I think, I think we have several institutions created for several purposes. I strongly believe that if a foreigner has breached a particular law, the law agencies should handle that. And I hope that they are doing that. I heard the president saying that they should exercise some patience and allow the laws, and the institutions charged with the law to do their work. But what I think, somebody working in the field of peace, I think that we are also tagging a particular country too much, which is not too healthy, in my opinion. We want to create an environment for peace to exist.
Which country are you referring to?
No, I wouldn't mention any country. But what I would want to say is that if somebody has committed a crime, whether the person is a Ghanaian, a Chinese, an American, Nigerian, or whatever. The person is criminal. And the laws must deal with the person in the manner that the law prescribes. But where you mention this group of people all the time, you are creating a sense of insecurity for that group. And I believe that is not too healthy for a country that wants to promote peace in this sub-region.